Red flags. They should be actively looked for in any woman when dating. And in today's video, I'll be specific about the two major red flags. These are the ones that make dating a nightmare. A successful date is decided by the number of red flags a partner has. The greater the number of red flags, the worse the dating experience gets, especially when they are ignored and not sorted beforehand. Now in this video, as I said earlier, we'll be diving into the two major red flags that when ignored becomes the reason for a dating nightmare. So without much delay, let's begin with it. The first major red flag is the frequency and how ill she talks about her exes. This is one of the major red flags that only gets bigger and brighter with the number of times she mentions them. You should note the number of times she mentions about her exes and how ill she talks about them. Say you're on a date and she randomly starts talking ill of her exes. You won't like it, right? See, even though it's good that she's opening up to you, you only open up to a person you think you are secure with and are comfortable with. There's no problem with opening up to you about her past and vent. But like everything, there's a red line to that too. Now, if she always talks ill about her exes, that's when it becomes a problem. There are always two sides to a story. She's telling you her side of it. But what about the other one? You can't know it, so you can't evaluate the situation fairly, and creating a conception about someone will be wrong too. Now take a look at her past and notice how she's a common factor in every dump. If she's being dumped by every guy, won't you feel there's something fishy going on? And then there's this other possibility too of you being the next in line. I mean, what the guarantee that sometime later she won't start talking ill of you too? Inviting such a person into your life can be detrimental to your mental health and even finances. You don't want someone constantly talking about their exes. You'll be fed up with it eventually, and it will get hard to stand it at a certain point. Even her relationship with her parents determines if she'll possibly have daddy issues or even mommy issues. Now the way to be exposed to these red flags is simply by letting her speak. That's right. Girls are a chatterbox. All you have to do is to ask her about her past experiences with dating or her childhood and how her relationship was with her parents. She'll even voluntarily let you into those things. That's it. All you have to do then is listen to her as she speaks out. You'll get to know if she's always been the one to be messing up in her relationships. Not to mention, even according to statistics, women are the ones who file for a divorce most of the time. And also you can get to know if she's likely to develop daddy issues later on in the dating period. Doing so will expose her red flags if there are any. And then you can make your decision based on them whether to carry on or leave her for good. The other major red flag is not taking the ownership. Now, if she's opening up to you about her exes and says they were abusive and so she left them, or if they weren't there for them emotionally, that's all right as she's only sharing her experiences. The problem is when she constantly insults them, like all the time it's her talking ill of them. When she's always crying about them. By crying I mean complaining about them, pointing fingers at them and all. She doesn't seem to be the one on the right side of the equation. The most awesome trait of an amazing woman is what the low-quality woman lacks, and that is ownership. When she starts going all in on her exes, you can ask her what her role was in those breakups. I mean, you can ask her something similar, and that will be the moment of truth. If she's hopefully the right woman, she'll accept her mistakes, realize them, and will own them. She'll call her ex abusive, sure, but will accept her mistake of tolerating him and not letting go of him earlier. Now, on the other hand, if she's refusing to accept even a single mistake of hers and portraying her exes as the main villains of the story with her being completely fault-free and a mere victim, that's a major red flag right there. A good woman will always accept her part and contributions in the failures of previous relationships, and they complain a lot less. She'll accept that she had let a wrong person into her life, that she should have inspected the others after him thoroughly before committing with them, that there was always a mistake of hers too that was involved with her failed past relationships, and essentially will own her stuff. The woman on the other extreme, if the spectrum, will instead be complaining about her ex-partners always, will be putting all the blame on them, and essentially just be pointing fingers instead of releasing that there was at least some contributions made by her too. These were the two major red flags that make your dating life a nightmare. Keep them in mind the next time you go on a date. We'll be ending the video here, guys. Like the video if you found it to be helpful. Share with your friends who might also be in need of this information. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.